Welcome back to NT Coins World, your go-to channel for in-depth and passionate explorations of rare, historical, and valuable coins from around the world. If you're a seasoned collector or just starting out in the world of numismatics, you're in the right place. Today we're diving deep into the rich history, design, minting details, and collector appeal of two standout coins in the Washington Quarter Dollar series. These two coins, though often overlooked in circulation, hold remarkable stories and value that can elevate any collection. So sit back and get ready as we explore the numismatic depth of the 1971 Washington Quarter Dollar coin and the 1989 Washington Quarter Dollar coin, both in fine condition. Let's begin with the first of our two featured coins. The 1971 Washington Quarter Dollar coin, minted nearly 4 decades after the original 1932 release of the series, holds a unique place in American numismatic history. Though often dismissed as just another clad quarter in circulation, this coin tells a deeper story of transition, national identity, and minting evolution during the 20th century. To understand the full value and context of the 1971 quarter, we need to take a step back to its roots. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, this quarter replaced the Standing Liberty design and has since become a staple of American coinage. By 1971, however, the coin had undergone one of its most significant transformations, its composition. Prior to 1965, Washington quarters were composed of 90% silver and 10% copper. But due to rising silver prices and increasing costs to produce coins, the U.S. Mint made a decisive change. From 1965 onward, quarters were produced using a clad composition of copper and nickel. The 1971 Washington Quarter was therefore among the early issues of this non-silver series, making it historically significant for collectors interested in post-silver era coinage. In terms of design, the obverse of the 1971 quarter retained Flanagan's original portrait of George Washington, facing left with the word Liberty boldly arched across the top. Just below Washington's chin appears the motto, "In God We Trust," and at the bottom, the date, 1971, is clearly engraved. While the design remained largely unchanged, some subtle differences in die strikes and wear across years make the 1971 version notable for comparison with other minting years. On the reverse side of the coin, we see the familiar image of a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings clutching a bundle of arrows, a symbol of preparedness for war. Beneath the eagle are 2 olive branches, denoting peace. Above this detailed and symmetrical image appears the inscription United States of America, with a pluribus unum placed just above the eagle's head, and finally quarter dollar marking the denomination at the base. One key point of interest is that the 1971 Washington Quarter was struck at 2 major mint locations, Philadelphia and Denver. However, the Philadelphia coins bear no mint mark, a traditional omission at the time. The Denver coins, on the other hand, include a small D mint mark on the obverse, to the right of Washington's ponytail. In terms of mintage, 1971 saw an incredibly high production volume. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 258 million quarters, while the Denver Mint struck around 258 million as well. With over 500 million coins minted in total, the 1971 quarter is certainly not rare in the absolute sense. However, finding one in truly fine condition, with strong details and minimal circulation wear, is far more uncommon than one might expect given its volume. Many of these coins have seen decades of use, making pristine or lightly circulated examples increasingly desirable to collectors. From a market value standpoint, circulated 1971 quarters in average condition typically fetch face value or slightly more, especially for bulk collectors or those interested in completing date runs. However, quarters in fine condition, those graded F12 and higher, can demand a premium. Examples in AU, about uncirculated, or MS, mint state. Conditions, particularly MS 65 and above, can range from $5 to over $50 depending on eye appeal, strike sharpness, and absence of contact marks. The grading becomes even more critical when looking at certified specimens. PCGS and NGC have graded many 1971 quarters, but MS-67 examples remain very scarce. An MS-67 piece with a brilliant strike and near-perfect surfaces can exceed $500 at auction, showing that even common-date clad quarters can reach impressive heights in value. Another crucial aspect that makes the 1971 quarter notable is the presence of die varieties and errors, which continue to attract numismatists. Among the most sought-after errors are double die obverses and reverses, where design elements appear slightly duplicated due to misalignment in the minting process. These doubling effects are often visible on letters such as Liberty or In God We Trust. Though not as famous or dramatic as the 1955 double die Lincoln Cent 1971 quarter, double dies still carry significant collector interest and can bring in hundreds of dollars when verified. Other error types include clipped planchets, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet, such as a 1971 quarter struck on a nickel or dime planchet. These rarities are not only fascinating to study but also provide a substantial jump in market value, sometimes reaching thousands depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. Collectors of Washington quarters view the 1971 issue as a cornerstone of the modern clad era. While it lacks the silver content of earlier issues, it serves as a historical marker of economic changes in U.S. coinage policy. Its high mintage numbers may deter some from collecting, but for others, the challenge lies in finding those few exceptional examples cleanly struck, well-preserved, or housing rare errors. Adding a 1971 quarter in fine condition to a collection is often a strategic choice. It offers affordability, accessibility, and a direct link to the early years of copper-nickel-clad coins. It also holds educational value, providing insights into the transition from precious metals and the minting standards of the early 1970s. In conclusion, the 1971 Washington quarter dollar coin may be abundant in numbers, but it's far from ordinary. With its rich historical background, striking design continuity, mintage nuances, error potential, and rising appeal among collectors seeking high-grade examples, this coin truly deserves a spotlight in any numismatic conversation. Whether you're searching through rolls, scouring estate sales, or bidding online, keep an eye out for this humble yet historically vibrant coin. It might just be a hidden gem in your collection. Now let's turn our focus to another notable member of the Washington quarter family, the 1989p Washington quarter dollar coin, also in fine condition. The 1989p Washington quarter dollar represents a modern yet historically rich installment in the long-running Washington quarter series. Though often seen as a late-century circulation coin, the 1989p quarter carries substantial significance from both a historical and collectible standpoint. Minted during a time of political change, technological development, and shifting minting standards, this coin holds a place of distinction within numismatic circles. First, let's explore the historical context surrounding the coin. By 1989, the United States was on the cusp of a new decade. The Cold War was drawing to a close, and the nation was witnessing considerable shifts in both domestic policy and international relations. It was also a year of transformation at the U.S. Mint, with advances in coin production, quality control, and planchet preparation techniques. Amid these developments, the 1989p quarter emerged as a representative of the evolving American economy and minting landscape. Staying true to the original design by John Flanagan, the obverse of the 1989p quarter continues to feature the iconic bust of George Washington. His profile faces left, symbolizing continuity and national leadership. The inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" frame the portrait, while the year 1989 is placed beneath Washington's image. The P mint mark, denoting the Philadelphia Mint, is positioned to the right of Washington's ponytail, a hallmark of quarters minted in this facility. The reverse design remains unchanged from its 1932 inception, displaying a powerful American eagle with its wings spread, clutching arrows and framed by olive branches. This classical imagery merges symbols of strength and peace, reminding viewers of America's foundational values. United States of America and E Pluribus Unum form the top arc, while quarter dollar sits prominently at the bottom. Even in 1989, this design continued to echo national pride and classical numismatic artistry. Now when it comes to mintage, the 1989 P quarter had a robust production run. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 512 million of these coins, making it one of the higher mintage years for the series. While that number might suggest ubiquity, finding high-quality or fine-condition examples is a different matter altogether. Many of these coins entered circulation immediately and endured decades of wear. That makes well-preserved coins, those with sharp details, minimal surface damage, and good luster, valuable finds for collectors. In fine condition, a 1989 P quarter should retain most of its detail, especially in the high points of Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the lettering. Coins showing moderate wear but no significant dings or corrosion are generally classified as fine. Although these coins may only be worth a small premium over face value, their importance to date-run collectors and modern quarter enthusiasts cannot be overstated. Grading plays a crucial role in assessing value. While fine F12 condition coins remain relatively affordable, higher-grade examples, especially in mint state, see increased interest. MS65 examples can range between $15 and $30, while exceptional MS67 coins, though rare, have been known to command prices of $200 or more in auction settings. Certified examples with clean fields and strong luster attract competitive bidding among collectors. The era and variety landscape of the 1989 P quarter is equally fascinating. This issue has produced several notable minting errors that attract numismatists and error hunters alike. One of the more well-known types is the off-center strike, where part of the design is visibly shifted due to a misalignment during minting. These can range from minor shifts to dramatic errors where half the coin is blank, fetching hundreds depending on the degree of the error and the visibility of the date and mint mark. Other documented errors include die cracks, cuds, and doubled dies. In particular, doubled die reverses, though not extremely common for 1989, do appear on some coins, often noticeable in the lettering on the reverse or the eagle's feathers. These varieties offer both aesthetic appeal and added value, especially when authenticated by grading services. The 1989 P quarter is also a coin that appeals to a new generation of collectors. It serves as a bridge between the older clad quarters and the more recent 50 state quarters program that began in 1999. For younger collectors, it's a great entry point into the hobby, affordable, accessible, yet historically relevant. It's also popular among those building sets of Washington quarters by year and mint mark, where the challenge lies in securing high-grade examples of each issue. From a collector interest perspective, the 1989 P quarter embodies the essence of modern numismatics. It is not a coin that's often found in high-grade rolls or untouched hoards, meaning each well-preserved piece likely escaped the wear and tear of daily commerce through careful stewardship. As such, finding a sharp example can be immensely rewarding. To sum up, the 1989 P Washington quarter dollar coin may be one of the more recent issues in the traditional Washington series, but it stands out thanks to its design continuity, high production quality, error potential, and importance to date-run collectors. In fine condition, it captures the spirit of late 20th century America, a time of transition, innovation, and growing national pride. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a passionate beginner, the 1989 P quarter is a valuable addition to any Washington quarter collection.